This Rosh Hashanah is going to be so different for so many of us around the world. But the next few minutes can radically change your Rosh Hashanah. So listen to this. Hey everyone, and welcome back to a special edition of Inspiring Hope. This is your weekly boost of uplifting Jewish inspiration. I'm Rabbi Tzvi Sytner, and on behalf of H.com and the Village Shul, I want to thank you all for listening. I also want to thank this week's sponsors. Today's talk is sponsored by the Friedman family from Queens, New York, in memory of Yaakov Yosef ben Nata Nata, and for all those who need a refuah shalema. There's no doubt about it that this Rosh Hashanah, during a pandemic, is going to be so different. Many shuls have limited seating and people can't come. For some of us, we'll be home alone for the first time. Some of us may be indoors with masks, and your masks may be too tight or too loose. Some of us may be praying outdoors, and maybe it'll be too hot or too cold. Traffic may be too loud, or the chazan may be too quiet. Maybe it's not going to be safe enough, or maybe it'll be too safe. There are so many unknown variables. But there's one thing that your Rosh Hashanah experience really depends on, and that is your perspective. I heard an extremely powerful poem written by a 17-year-old girl from New York named Chani Gorkin. It's called The Worst Day Ever. Listen to this poem. Today was the absolute worst day ever. And don't try to convince me that there's something good in every day. Because when you take a closer look, this world is a pretty evil place. Even if some goodness does shine through once in a while, satisfaction and happiness don't last. And it's not true that it's all in the mind and heart, because true happiness can be obtained only if one's surroundings are good. It's not true that good exists. I'm sure you can agree that the reality creates my attitude. It's all beyond my control, and you'll never in a million years hear me say that today was a good day. But now let's read that same poem from the bottom up. Today was a good day, and you'll never in a million years hear me say that it's all beyond my control. My attitude creates the reality. I'm sure you can agree that it's not true that good exists only if one's surroundings are good. True happiness can be obtained because it's all in the mind and heart. And it's not true that satisfaction and happiness don't last. Some goodness does shine through once in a while, even if this world is a pretty evil place. Because when you take a closer look, there's something good in every day. And don't try to convince me that today was the absolute worst day ever. So much of how we experience life depends on our perspective. It's true that this year's Rosh Hashanah will be different, but we can either focus on all the things that are lacking, or we can focus on what we do have. For some of us, we could finally be with family again. For some of us, we're praying together in a shul. For some of us, we're just happy to be alive to witness another Rosh Hashanah. But this isn't just about what kind of Rosh Hashanah you want to have. This is about what kind of year you want to have. Because what you focus on creates your reality. And the same way you can choose what you see on Rosh Hashanah, you can also choose who you want to be on Rosh Hashanah. And it starts by envisioning it. Envision the marriage that you want to have. Picture the parent that you want to be. See yourself with the self-discipline that you're yearning for. See it, because it's the future you. And then commit to taking small steps towards making it your reality. This year, don't lose sight by focusing on all the petty stuff. Think big. Focus on your year. Focus on your life. This Rosh Hashanah, choose what you want to see and choose who you want to be. Shana Tova.